Plus one, you can come on down. I'm here with, she's here now, Hally Leadbetter.
Thanks for having me, John.
Golf Digest's meme captain and also a professional golfer. I am professional at nothing at the moment, but
it's okay, I'm not very good anymore.
You never know what can happen. We're on Instagram Live. John Plus One is a talk show focusing on people in New York City doing interesting things or passionate about a specific topic. Tonight we're going to be talking about golf, the sport of golf, and the culture surrounding it, where it's going, and what we think about it. So the title of it is basically golf and changing the perception of it. So when you talked about it initially, we were thinking about the sport, who's involved in it, and where it's going.
Yes.
And it does have one of these kind of like old school labels to it.
Yes.
And that can often hurt it, but often help out its culture moving forward. So what do you think about the sport itself right now and how people perceive it?
Well, I think golf is, we're in such an interesting time, right? We have things like social media, which we can utilize to help it continue along and continue to evolve.
Yeah.
But also we're a very traditional sport, which is good because you have people like presidents and big movie superstars. Everybody loves golf. But how do we change the perception and get more people interested in it?
Yeah.
And in my opinion, I think it's through, association.
Yeah.
So how do we get people just besides older white males to like golf? Well, we have to get celebrities. We have to get other sports stars and people that are considered cool in our culture. We have to get them playing golf, and then the younger millennials will then start thinking, oh, that's neat, that's cool.
Yeah.
So they'll see people that they want to emulate, and if they're doing something, then it's something that they will then consider cool.
Do you see somebody that's in our age group? We're both 65 plus, by the way. So it's somebody in our age group that has been doing that and has been succeeding in a way, specifically?
Well, I think a lot of just news outlets. I mean, earlier we talked about Top Golf, and then us at Golf Digest. We have an outlet right now called The Loop, where we talk a lot of things golf culture. We cover who Ricky Fowler's dating, and Jordan Spieth's spring break, and Steph Curry playing in a web.com event.
Right.
All those things are helping to change golf's image.
So it's sort of centered around their lifestyle.
Yeah.
And bringing it into people that haven't even noticed it.
Yeah, and I think we get a lot of flack as a very kind of prestigious golf publication for posting things like that, and they're like, oh, it's clickbait. Well, it's not clickbait because I can see the number. It's interesting. We put a picture of Steph Curry.
Numbers.
Yeah, it's not. It's obviously that's what people want to see.
Yeah.
People in golf are curious about what Ricky Fowler is doing on his spring break and who Jordan Spieth's hanging out with and all those things. I don't think that's bad, and that's what's going to continue to make golf cool, if you will. So
do you think that with Golf Digest, it's, aside from creating a culture around the players, that it's also helped just the sport out? Do you think the sport has changed at all through kind of what Golf Digest has been reporting on or something like that?
Absolutely.
Pretty much the same game that.
Absolutely. So at Golf Digest we have two sort of main channels, kind of where you talked about earlier, golf being a traditional sport. So we have Golf World, which covers your strict golf knowledge, golf scores.
Do white people write it? Is it just white people?
We have a good mix. and then we have this other thing called The Loop, which again covers that. So it's horses for courses. You might be interested in that. You might be interested in something else. But we're able to reach out to, again, untapped demographics.
Yeah.
If you are looking for things about Steph Curry and you type in Steph Curry on Google and an article about Steph Curry playing golf comes up, that's a win for golf. Exactly.
That's a win for golf.
It is. It's a win for golf. So that's the way that I look at it.
That's great. That's really cool. Do you think that do you think the biggest thing that's unattractive for people our age is is it seen as too expensive? Is it seen as too exclusive?
Yeah.
Is it seen as just something that's unattainable? I mean, I participate in the worst sports to televise ever. Rowing, sailing. I mean, these are not attractive sports to televise. They're slow, they're expensive. So I get a lot of these problems that you'd have to deal
Right.
with. Although golf is very like well known and played in America, is there other things that you think are like killing?
Yeah, well, it's one of the things we talked about as far as just the image. So changing that slowly by getting people that are cool associated with it. And then it's a few other things. One, again, I think it's the locations that you're able to play golf. A lot of times those places are seen as very traditional and stuffy. And I'm not saying that's bad. I actually had this conversation with somebody yesterday. Like, so we were talking about how the golf in the area is so good. And courses like Winged Foot and Baltusrol and Shinnecock, those courses,
Where are those courses?
Those courses are just in the Met area, a lot out in the Hamptons.
They sound like in Europe or something.
Yes, they're very, very fancy.
You'd think it'd be like Bill's course in Vermont, you know?
Well, they are very exclusive,
Okay.
and they are very difficult to get on, and they are generally expensive to play, and you do have to have your skirt a certain length, and you can't talk on your cell phone, and that's okay. Like, those courses have been around for a couple hundred years, like, you do you, Wingfoot, like, but that's
you
the,
do you,
you do you, but that's the beauty of courses like that.
Okay.
That being said, if you're not Wingfoot, you need to lighten up.
Yeah.
You need to let us wear leggings, you need to let us play music, because in a couple 20, 30 years, like those people that are telling me, like I've never been told by a person that's my age or in the span of 10 to 20 years older than me to shut off my music or to get off my cell phone. Generally, it's the older men telling me to do that. You know, so I think one, it's location. That's why things like Topgolf are so great because, and also golf is hard.
Yeah, it is.
So
hard.
it's like we were talking about this earlier.
I've never had a good golf game.
Well, nobody wants to go stand on a driving range when it's really hot out and you can't make contact. Yeah. But you know what is fun to do? Drink and listen to music.
That's true.
And then maybe hit a few balls.
Yeah.
So
it's kind of like informal golf versus like.
Yeah, it's a palatable way to introduce people to a sport that is really hard.
Yeah.
And if you're able to take it in little bite-sized pieces like that, then we have a chance of maybe getting people interested and think, oh, maybe I do want to go to a driving range.
Yeah.
And maybe I do want to get lessons and get better at this. Right. So that's how that's how you're gonna have people get the bug. You're not gonna have them get the bug by putting them in a stuffy golf course and telling them to try and hit this little white ball straight. That's not fun for anybody.
Yeah.
So
that's interesting. So there's like a split between, you know, the nice ones, the ones that are doing it the right way, and then ones that are more attractive, a little bit more lenient, that you could work your way up to.
Yeah, exactly. But a beginner I don't think is going to have very much fun at a stuffy golf course because then you got to learn the etiquette and you've got to do all these other things.
You can't just learn etiquette like that.
No,
it's something you're born with, kid.
Yeah, exactly. It's in your genes.
It's in your genes.
But it does take a long time to learn. I was at an event the other day at Chelsea Piers, our one real driving range in New York City.
That's true.
And I was speaking with some women, and they said that their biggest concern was that when they went out to play, if they were paired with other people, that they wouldn't know the right things to do.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, that's just a whole another can of worms that you have to kind of address. But at the same time, I think golf, again, with the tradition, we are very quick to poo-poo people that aren't very good and that don't know a lot about
it. That's part of this.
Yeah, we need that. We need to encourage
that. That's the competitiveness.
Exactly.
So that's, I mean, we just touched on a couple things. There's Chelsea Piers, there's Topgolf. There's these things that are reinventing the sport, not necessarily changing the whole way the game is played, but taking a piece of it and making it fun and making it like, hey, you can do this.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
the next thing we're talking about is intro slide. I love that. It's called, do you reinvent the game or do you reinvent the culture? So you mentioned Topgolf. For people out there that don't understand what it is. I mean,
Topgolf is a...
She's not a spokesperson.
No, I'm not. Definitely not. But
I am, but I'm going to make her say it.
I'm a big fan. Again, it's a fun way. It's palatable for people that don't know a lot about golf and that would say, hey, that looks like a lot of fun. It's like kind of like bowling for golf. Because even if you suck, you can still have fun.
Yes,
you know?
So
so again, that would maybe fall under the reinvention category.
Yeah.
Granted, I wouldn't necessarily consider that golf, but it's definitely an intro.
It's like a piece of it.
Exactly.
You're getting a little bit of feel.
And they're also doing amazing things for the culture of the sport. You know, they have their an entire media team dedicated to creating content around the sport, and they also partnered with the PGA and LPGA tours, and they do a lot of events. Or when the PGA and LPGA tours come to cities that are near Topgolf, so a lot of times they have events at those. So
do you think that like when they wanted to partner with like PGA, they were like, oh well, I don't want to associate myself with them, or do they make themselves like, hey, we're like a fun?
No, I think they said absolutely, we'd love to.
Okay.
No, definitely, because I think the PGA and the LPGA and PGA of America are very aware of the situation, and they, from what I know, they welcomed that collaboration.
That's interesting. And is there, I mean, aside from what you do with social media with golf, is there any way that they're reinventing the culture that you haven't touched on? I know you've spoken on before, but is there something that is it maybe the celebrities and the way they're dressing? Because a lot of influencers we'll call them, are basically celebrities that are paid by like Gatorade or somebody to kind of show off their brand through the sport that they play or through the thing that they do.
Hashtag
sponsored. No filter, lots of filter. But so is there a certain celebrity within golf that's like through their brand that they're creating? Are they making it like I just saw? Who's the younger golfer you showed me?
Michelle Wee.
Michelle Wee. She had some like really cool Nike.
Yes, she had some really awesome.
If I saw that initially, I'd be like, whoa, that is like not okay on John's golf course, but they're super cool. But I just thought that like, how is she gonna be? How are they gonna let her get away with it? They were the coolest shoes.
They're
like
super
sparkly.
cool. Yeah, there's covered in Swarovski crystals.
What?
So yeah, those are
those were too cool. Actually, you know what? If my shoes were covered in crystals, I'd let you come to my golf course.
I would probably play behind you and like try to see if there were crystals in the rough.
That's crazy. I don't know they're crystals.
Yeah. So I mean, apparel is definitely a way the game is changing, and that again goes back to tradition versus do we want the game to evolve? You've got girls like Michelle Wee that collaborate with their brands like Nike and create these amazing outfits, and then you have the LPGA sending out a memo to the players saying, we want to make sure that your skirt isn't showing your butt when you bend down, all these things. And granted, it's tradition, but at the same time,
loosen up.
It's I think it's a fine line to walk between honoring the tradition of golf, but at the same time being like, let's move forward. I mean, you've got the men for the first time at the PGA Championship were allowed to wear shorts in the practice round.
Bold moves.
Bold move, yeah. And if you talk to a lot of the players, they really enjoyed that. They like a little air on their legs. It's hot.
I like
it's hot down there.
Thighs. That's why I like to wear shorts.
Those would have been too short. I'm pretty sure that they wouldn't have let that happen.
Literally like right here, borderline.
I think that may be that.
Damn.
Yeah, sorry, John.
Well, aside from reinventing the sport of golf, I looked at 3 other examples of businesses or brands that are trying to reinvent themselves in a way. So we're going to do a little game now.
Okay, I love games.
Games are good. And this is an easy game because there's emojis in it.
Oh, I love emojis.
There's 3 different examples here, again, of brands or businesses that are trying to reinvent themselves. One of them is legitimate. 2 of them are false. They all sound totally ridiculous. But I'm going to give you 3 different examples, and you're going to use your Rollins-educated brain, which is a good thing, to give me the example.
We went to the same school, by the way.
We did go to the same
you're wondering. Go Tars.
That's it.
It's a sailor.
We haven't graduated yet either.
Yeah,
it's called the 17-year plan.
We're still in
Parents love it. So the first one right here, it's a popular U.S. food chain that started a TV series about sustainable ingredients in the form of comedy shorts to appeal to a younger market. That's one example. The middle example, an art museum in California created a drinking game surrounding clues within the painting to attract, again, like a younger crowd. Third one, cosmetic companies started using animals as opposed to models to avoid gender and race stereotyping, a topic that's hot within their demographic. So there's 3 examples here. Which one do you think is the true example of someone trying to reinvent themselves? And I can say it again, too, if you didn't catch it. So we've got U.S. food chain making a TV series about sustainable ingredients, an art museum drinking and then
I wish that was
putting
true.
makeup on monkeys. Which one do you think it is?
The first one.
The first one? Well, let's see if she's correct. You are correct.
Boom.
It's Chipotle is doing this.
No way.
Yes, Chipotle.
Chipotle.
Yes. You didn't even think they need to, right?
No.
You know? But it's a Hulu series on and they're comedy shorts of people doing like, I don't know, sustainable like ingredients, like maybe like a farming thing. I didn't look too into it because it wasn't like appealing to me.
Right.
You really want to watch
but
it.
I am now going to become just a huge
Total fan of Chipotle.
Exactly, just because of
I
that.
didn't think they need to do it anyways. I think like they already had it on.
Yeah, but then they had that whole like, what was that? E.
Right,
coli thing.
Yep.
So maybe they're trying to cover that.
Bounce back through TV series.
Yeah, Hulu.
No one should ever do this ever. I just made that up, and that's actually kind of
That's actually a really good idea.
And the fact that I said it was in California, I thought I'd trick you, but I didn't. Anyways, you got it right. Thank you for being on John.
Thank you so much.
That was fantastic.
Thank you.
Hally Leadbetter. Hally Leadbetter.
Okay.
John +1. There'll be a replay 24 hours later, and it'll also be on YouTube. We've got Pierce Cravens coming up next week talking about Netflix and stuff.
All right.
Thank you very
guys.
much.